Good morning. Happy hump day. I'm here. We are having some internet issues this morning. So um, I'm going to try to make this quick so I won't go out on you all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. For the rest of the week, we are going to, if I'm not able to finish my live today with all the information I want to give you, we're going to talk about the Dirty Dozen scams for the 2025 year. So every year, the Internal Revenue Service released this list of the Dirty Dozen scams. So basically, they're telling you the scams that they're up to every year that people are doing, what the scammers are up to. Um, get my breakfast ready. I will wait a few minutes and give the people a chance to join. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Give me a thumbs up or a heart and let me know that you can hear me and see me. My internet has been giving me issues this morning. Let me silence my email so it won't be disturbed. Okay, good morning. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Please give me a thumbs up, a heart, or something, or type something in the chat so I can know that you can hear me and see me. I'm having some internet issues this morning. Okay, we got a few people on here. Okay, hey Liz, how are you? Good morning. So every year the Internal Revenue Service releases this list of the Dirty Dozen scams, and the Dirty Dozen scams for 2025. I'm going to give you all of them, a list of all of them today. I might not be able to go into detail about all of them. If I don't have time to do it all today, then when I go live tomorrow, I'll finish up. So, and this list was not shocking for me because most of this it's just a repeat from prior years. So Dirty Dozen scam number one is email phishing scams. Dirty Dozen number two is bad social media advice. Oh my gosh, I want to talk about that one today, most definitely. Number three is the IRS individual online account help from scammers. Number four, 1, 2, 3, 4, fake charities. That's a new one to me. I didn't know people make fake charities, bogus charities. So fake charities is a new one to me. False fuel tax credit claim. That is what most of my cases are on right now. So I really want to talk about that one today. Credits for sick leave and family leave. That's one of those COVID scam credits that people were using that made the Dirty Dozen scam list for 2025. Bogus self-employment tax credit that made the cut. Improper household employment taxes. That's a big one. And if I don't have time to cover that one today, I definitely want to dive into it tomorrow because one of the conferences that I attended this year in New York, one of the IRS criminal investigators, that was on their list, the improper household employment taxes that people are using to get people more money on their taxes. The overstated withholding scam, y'all better stop. That made the cut on the Dirty Dozen list. misleading offers and compromise. If I don't get a chance to jump and dive deep in that one today, I definitely want to talk about that either tomorrow or Friday. Ghost tax return preparers. That has been around for a long time, and I just don't understand how it's still going on. The IRS, they need to update their systems now. That should be preventable by now. Good Lord. But the IRS systems are so outdated and antique. Hopefully, with all this new AI tools that they have, they'll be able to stop some of these dirty dozen scams. The last one is new client scams and spear phishing. That's in short cyber criminals, like internet criminals. So those are the dirty dozen. Let me make sure I gave them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. Those are all the dirty dozen tax scams for 2025. If you missed it when you go back and replay it, I'm not going to go over the list again, but I am going to go over some of them today and the rest of the week. So back social media advice. I'm going to read you what the IRS says on their website, and then I will give you my 2 cents on the bad social media advice because, oh, Lord have mercy, especially TikTok. So the Internal Revenue Service says another growing concern in 2025 continues to involve incorrect tax information on social media that can mislead honest taxpayers with bad advice, potentially leading to identity theft and tax problems. Social media platforms routinely circulate inaccurate or misleading tax information, including on TikTok, where people share wildly inaccurate tax advice. Some involve urging people to misuse common tax documents like Form W-2. The IRS warns people not to fall for these tax scams and urge them to follow trusted social media advice from the IRS, tax professionals, and other reputable resources. The IRS reminds taxpayers who knowingly file fraudulent tax returns that they could potentially face significant civil and criminal penalties. So here's my thing with the bad advice on social media. I think that people know what they be doing. And when I say that, what I mean is when taxpayers are audited, sometimes they'll retain somebody like me, and they will act like they knew nothing about the credits that were added to their tax return. Well, the Internal Revenue Service, they're not going for that anymore. If you sign that tax return, you are saying that you agree to every credit and deduction and income. You're agreeing to everything that's on that tax return. You're assuming responsibility for everything on that tax return. What I don't like is there are tax professionals, fraudsters, scammers on social media spreading bad advice. And when they go to a reputable and honest tax preparer to prepare their taxes, they don't want to hear the truth. The people want to go to the tax preparers that are spreading false information, that are scamming, and that are adding whatever they can on their tax return to get them the max. Y'all got to stop doing that. Tax preparers, you got to let them people go on about their business. If they don't want you to be their tax preparer because you're not scamming, let them go on about their business. Do not add those fake credits and deductions on their tax returns, because not only are they going to be audited and fined and penalized, and audits could lead to RICOs, but because you prepared that tax return, you're going to be in it too. And the IRS can take it as far as to looking at all your other tax returns too, to see what you are doing on your other clients' tax returns as well. So y'all be cautious on what you believe on social media. Go to someone reputable. The Internal Revenue Service has a directory online. It's the IRS directory. You can find a reputable tax professional in that directory. I would start with people with credentials, because a lot of times people that have credentials, they are honest and reputable, but that don't mean everybody with credentials are reputable and honest, because there are scammers, fraudsters, people that are trying to get you to max and they got credentials. So just do your own due diligence. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Y'all be knowing, y'all be knowing better. Y'all got to stop acting like y'all don't be knowing what be going on. If somebody got you $30,000 extra on your taxes, you know something ain't right. But tax preparers, they are going to throw you under the bus. So y'all better be prepared to assume responsibility on what you add on these tax returns. So that was one of the Dirty Dozen tax scams for 2025. Let me see how much time I got. Okay, I got about 5 more minutes. So I'll talk about another one. So another one is the false fuel tax credit claims. Let me see if I have any questions about. Okay, I don't see any questions or comments about the social media. So a second one was the false fuel tax credit claims. And the Internal Revenue Service says a major concern during the past year involved taxpayers who was misled into believing they were eligible for the fuel tax credit. Now, I have a lot of clients right now that got caught up in that scam. So far, none of my people are under investigation. I'm able to help them with their balances. I'm able to put them in a program. But let me read you what the IRS says first, and then I'll tell you what I'm seeing in real life. It says the credit is meant for off-highway business and farming use. And that's where you all are messing up at. So these promoters that are submitting these returns for you all, they ain't making it make no sense at all. So the credit is for off-highway business or farming use. It is not for a truck driver. Okay. So if you are in the city of Atlanta, you are putting an address in the city of Atlanta and you are giving them this false fuel tax credit, that's a red flag. How many damn farms do you know are in the city of Atlanta? Make it make sense. It can't be off-highway use. So that's what qualifies. Off-highway use or farming. Make it make sense. They also says that the tax return preparers and the promoters, including people on social media, are continuing to entice taxpayers into inflating their refunds by erroneously claiming the credit. The IRS has seen an increase in the promotion of filing certain refundable credits using Form 4136. The IRS urges people to get more information and to ensure they are properly claiming this credit. So they're already hip to this credit. The sad thing about this credit is there are really tax preparers or tax professionals or scammers, whatever they call themselves, that are out here teaching people how to fraudulently use this credit publicly. So I'm waiting to see how these indictments and investigations is going to go down with these promoters and this fuel tax credit, because these people are getting this ain't no little money that they're getting. They're getting 30, 40, 50, 100,000. Like they're getting a lot of money from adding this credit to tax returns. And what I've been seeing is, and the promoters think that they're going to get away with it, but they're not. But what I've been seeing is on the actual return, my clients, I've been getting the actual return. They are the people that are preparing the return, they're making the returns self-prepared. So they're not putting their name and they're not putting any of their information on that tax return. They think they're outsmarting the Internal Revenue Service, but they're not, because of course the person is going to tell who gave them this credit if they choose to. And if so many people give them your name, then of course the Internal Revenue Service is going to come after you. And I know that these people aren't smart enough to not put this money in bank accounts, because what they're doing is when they get the check in the mail, because that's how they get paid. A check it comes in the mail, is not deposited. So when the check comes in the mail, the person that received the check, they deposit the check in their bank account, deposit the check in their bank account. And when the check clears, they pay the person that submitted the tax return, that created the tax return. They pay them a portion, either half or a percentage of what they're getting. That's one way that I know of how it's being done. I'm sure there are other ways that they are doing to get paid, but that's just one way that I know of. But they're making it hard because they are basically telling the IRS that the person that name is on the tax return, the taxpayer, they're saying that they prepared the tax return themselves. So make sure y'all are paying attention to that. On page 2 at the bottom of the tax return, your tax prepared information should be on that tax return. If it says self-prepared, that's not good. I don't have enough time today to go deep into any other of the Dirty Dozen tax scams, but tomorrow I do want to talk about the ghost preparers and the household credit, the bogus self-employment tax credit, and the credits for the sick leave and family leave, because I am seeing a lot of those and they're being audited. And the thing about audits is people don't understand how serious an audit can be. An audit can turn into a RICO. So y'all just be cautious of what you're doing and adding on these tax returns. And taxpayers, be cautious of what you are signing. You need to know what you're signing. You need to read it, because you can't tell the Internal Revenue Service, oh, I didn't know. They're going to say, oh, well, you got to pay it back. You're going to be stuck paying it back. And not only are you going to have to pay back what they gave you, but you're going to have penalties and interest on top of that. And you better pray that you don't get criminal charges too. That's another thing. I'm going to talk about that Friday. The different tax, the criminal tax charges that you all need to be on the lookout for. So that is my time today. Shanita Peterson. Hey, Shanita, I keep telling the clients I've been fixing the same thing. I have one that reached out yesterday. So Shanita, the thing about that is if they're audited, is you can't fix it. You can't amend a return that's it being audited. Yeah, you can't amend the return that's being audited. Any more questions or comments before? Yeah, I wish it was that. If it was that easy, I would just amend the return and take it off. But it's not that easy. Once that return is pulled for audit, they assume responsibility. And I'm actually dealing with one. They sent her this large balance, and she didn't even get the money. She didn't get, and this was for the ERC. It wasn't for the fuel tax credit. It was for the ERC. But she's having to pay back over $100,000. Well, they're saying that she's going to have to pay back over $100,000. But by the time I get done with them, she'll probably have some penalties and interest, but she's not going to have to pay back all that money, especially if she did not receive it. So the Internal Revenue Service is going to have to prove that she received that money. And I've already done my due diligence on my end. I know my client did not receive that money. I don't know if the person that submitted it for her received it, but that's for the Internal Revenue Service to figure out. My job is to protect my client, and that's the only thing I'm worried about. So if y'all are out there submitting these fraudulent ERCs and the fuel tax credits and all these other credits, and y'all are getting this money and y'all are not giving it to the person who's supposed to be getting it, don't, especially if they're one of my clients, don't think my client gonna be stuck paying it back, because they're not. All righty, y'all have an amazing Wednesday. Join me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for more of the Dirty Dozen tax scams for 2025. Have an amazing day, and don't forget to be kind, because you don't know what people are going through. Happy Wednesday. Peace.